Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going now to talk, as we mentioned earlier, about the achievements of women in 2021 in order to play their leading role and how they are empowered by the government under the patronage of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi with so many opportunities, chances, legislations, various aspects in order to empower women. Today, we are very much honored to have with us here in the studio Mrs. Shahira Anwar, head of a non-governmental organization or a civil society organization, in order to tell us more about the achievements of women in 2021. Thank you very much, Mrs. Shahira, for coming, and Happy New Year to you.
For you too, and my pleasure, really. Thank you.
Now, how do you see the achievements of women in the past year?
First, I'd like to really say that Egyptian women live in her golden ages. As Mr. President, he's main backup and supporter for her in all her achievement, and he really believes that the Egyptian woman has right, and she need to get it not as a gift but as something of her human rights. This year was really marked and remarkable because there is many steps taken in this way to empower women, really. I'd like to highlight very much on that there were some jobs that women couldn't get in or appoint in, like at that state the state council. She couldn't to appoint there all the required refused from women. And also I'd like to highlight also that in the public prosecution, it allowed for her to get a job there, and this is starting from last October. We have been struggling for this since 70 years, as women wasn't welcome there. Second, I'd like also to highlight that Mr. President asked the Parliament to issue some laws that will help women in first control controlling her life. I think that there is a point very important that Mr. President asked the Parliament to issue some laws, as I mentioned before. First one is decide the age of marriage to prevent the early marriage for girls. That this is very important for her to enable her to continue her education, and also has a good impact on control the purse. And second, there is a law is already have been toughing the penalty, yes, of the some violence action against the woman, like sexual harassment. Also, I think this is very important because Mr. President mentioned this many times and focused on it. Also, he mentioned
also the law on inheritance as well.
Yes, of course. And also, there is also point Mr. President focused on it. I think it's very important that we have to know that woman is a very important part of the society. So when we give her her rights, that means that affects all the community, not only the women. And this is what we need to make some progress and development in the country.
Yes. If we talk about the role of women in Parliament, in the government, and in the civil society, how do you see the achievements?
First, there is 8 ministries at the same ministry. This is considered very remarkable points. It never have happened before in the same ministry. Second, 200 about seats in the Parliament and the Senate, and this is also never happened before. And also, I think that we are looking for more. We have to be greedy, because what we are going to do now is not only for us; it's also for all the incoming generation.
The most important achievements by women in 2021.
By women, I think maybe in sport, because the first medal, golden medal for Egyptian women. This is, I think, Farial Ashraf in karate. This is a great achievement. It never happened before. I think this is remarkable as a person.
Yes. How do you see the role of women manifested in 2021 with all the empowerment that they have been given?
Well, I think women have to do some efforts because what we have achieved is really great, and we have to work more to get. We are greedy to get more of that. I think that women make a lot of achievement because her eyes was in all her family actually. She want to support the family, the community. So it's very important for her actually to get the chance to consider that in her future.
And how do you see the role of women in the civil society and in social activities?
Well, I think there is a point that Mr. President is focused in it, and I think it's going to be very important in the social society. He talked about in the last Mother Days, he talks about many things, including this with the debtors woman. I think we have a great rules in this because we don't have to wait at just collecting money to set her free from the prison. I think our roles actually is the awareness that she has to, all the community have to change the custom and the traditional, that she not has to bring for their daughters to get married 12 blanket and 6 mattress and Chinese set Chinese of 72 pieces. She have to all that just have to change in the community.
Now this is awareness we're talking
about.
Yes,
this is awareness. So about I think that this is our rules as a civil organization and concern about the community, that we have to raise this awareness. As we don't want any woman to go to the prison, so the family lost her men.
But how do you do that, Mrs. Chahira? I mean, do you go directly to
women
we
have to
in
do
poor areas and in villages and you talk to them?
We have to do that. Right now, actually, our rules was collecting money and set them free. But as I said, we have to prevent this from the beginning. That's through awareness. We go to them at instead of like a medical convoy, but instead of a medical convoy, we can make awareness to show them the consequences of what are they doing, because they all imitate each other. So someone have to highlight that the end is not what we are looking for.
Yes. The civil society organizations concerned with women have been playing a major part or a major role, especially in 2021, in various aspects. Some were advocating, for example, women to be business women, whether in small and medium enterprises, and providing them with proper training in order to start their business. Other civil society organizations were concerned with al-gharimat, or women who were imprisoned due to their inability to pay back their debts. While other civil society organizations were concerned on preventing violence against women and sexual harassment. So the civil society organizations concerned with women issues have been playing several parts in various aspects, and they are all collaborating together in order to reach one goal, empowering women. How do you see that?
Well, let's first define what's empowering women. Really, empowering women, that means that the women have to be equal with the men, and has also to be well educated and well trained, because woman is gonna be the main stone in the family, and the main stone in the family which is responsible for all not the family, but this is where impact on all the community. So I think that there is many steps already taken in this direction for empowering women in all aspects. Let's first say about, if we talk about the economic side, there was been a report issued by the ministry that a book called Achievement and Vision. It mentioned many really numbers about this in what have been progress in made in economic, that about this at this point this year about 27% of women with bank account that enable them to get loans so they can make their own projects. And other things they mentioned already, that the percentage of the employment women decreased from about 24 to 17%, and this is also a good market. And if we speak about the social aspect, in the unemployment, the literacy have been decreased from about 33 to 22%, and this is also a good achievement. And the dropout from primary school decreased from 0.5 to 0.2. All this is remarkable, and of course there is more need to be done in this area. But we are working, and we are hoping, and we are really we'll do our best to and our efforts to achieve our goals.
What are your expectations for women to achieve in 2022?
I think in 2022 let's focus on, I think, economic, because economic is going to be the stone which drive us to the development we are looking for. I think we're gonna get, we feel that the economic will be more effectively and tangible, increasing in the income of all the society. So this is going to be reflected on the woman, especially as the issue, the breadwinning for most of the family. About 20% of the Egyptian woman, of the Egypt population, is the woman is responsible for the family.
Yes.
So I think this is what's going to be a good impact in economic. I hope so.
Yes. Well, I'd like to thank you very much, Mrs. Shahira Anwar, head of a civil society organization. Thank you very much for being with us here.
My pleasure.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in this edition of Women's World. I'm Helen Hamalawi signing off for now.